Merry Christmas. This is a fun time of the year, and I want to stop and just say thank you to everyone who has given through their prayers, their support there. That's definitely needed and greatly appreciated through your financial gifts. And again, it's just enabled us to be able to do what we do. It's sustained us. And so thank you, and I pray God's blessing over your life for what you've given through your prayers and through your gifts. I wanted to give just kind of a short report on this year, and so here we go. Well, this year in January, I turned 65. Well, that was monumental for me. Not so much the age as much as, it's you kind of have to start Medicare, Medicaid, whatever all that stuff is, you got to sign up or not do that or whatever. And so in the process of that, I'm thinking, wow, I actually made it to 65. And, it just caused me to stop and reflect and where am I in life and what has happened and how much life do I have and what do I want to do and those type of things. And so it was just a good time of reflecting and saying, okay, well, here I am. Some things, what I thought there might be, other things, no, it wasn't. But either way, I'm content with what God has, and God's been good, very, very good to me. So I'll kick the year off with that. Anyway, as we moved into the year, this fire is getting a little hot. Anyway, but I'm certainly enjoying it on these cool mornings. Kicked off the year with going to a Well at Heart Basic there in Arkansas and helping a guy out with that. That was a great experience. We had our staff meetings, which first part of the year. And that was good. One of the things that we set a goal of, and God had blessed us with a connection and an opportunity with a startup software company that was going to help us, had the ability to be able to help us put together the guide curriculum. And so good news is we just got word that we got the first run on that completed. And so I'm excited about that. So our staff meeting, and then trying to think some other things that happened. Ruby and I took some time off in spring break. We went to Atlanta and visited family and friends, and we also took some time off in August. And one of the things we did was to go up to Glacier National Park, which I've never been to, so that was kind of a fun experience. We drove up there and took our time going up and back, and so throughout the year, as I mentioned, we worked on developing the material for the guide training. That's been growing. We've got more guys in that. We also did a guide training, which I hosted here in Colorado. Did backpacking trip. I developed in some material and went to Missouri to my brother's church and did a men's conference. That was a fun. It was a challenging experience because putting together material and everything. I did use a lot of that for the hunting camp. By the way, the events that I do, the backpacking, the hunting camp, I do develop the material. I mean, yeah, I use what I've done in the past, but try to make it current, update, however God might lead what I think the men need to hear. So, which by the way, I did do hunting camp this year, but before that, like I said, did the backpacking trip, and we went to the Philippines for a little over 3 weeks, about 3.5 weeks there in September. First part of that trip was a mission trip, and so we church there in Aurora that we're a part of, we support some pastors and churches there, so we went and visited them. A part of that, we we've got a choir, and so we had to do some practicing to get ready for that. So we did that, and we had a few places and opportunities where we did some numbers, and so that was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work to prepare for that. So we went there. While we were there, again, the mission trip, and then Ruby and I got a chance to speak in a lot of different churches. I spoke 5 different churches, and I think she in 3. So it was a very, very busy time among trying to see family and things like that. It was good. Came back worn out, sick, mainly because it was kind of worn out. But right after that, I did a Wild at Heart Basic here, and then a few weeks after that, did the hunting camp. Had a large group there, and the guys wanted to hunt for a while, so that was kind of a 2-week deal for me by the time I get there and prep and all that. So it was a busy year, and wrapped up being very, very, very busy. And in the midst of that, I kind of felt like, man, I want to cancel some of this stuff or whatever. It's just too much going on. But I just felt like God saying, stay faithful. And, especially like the Wild at Heart Basic, that was just a week and a half or so after a return from the Philippines. And, I'd been sick, and there wasn't a whole lot of guys signed up for it. And so, but again, I felt like God saying, be faithful. So I did, and we had 5 guys, and it was a really, really good experience. And I think it was exactly what God had for those men that came. Let's see. What are some of the other things that I did? Well, on a personal level, I'm involved with the camp, and I'm the chairman of the board for a camp just kind of west of here, about an hour and a half or so. And we got into a building project, and so that kept me really busy. My extra time, trying to work on that, and we're hoping this year to kind of complete that. We take a break in the wintertime because you can't really do a whole lot of construction there in the mountains in the winter. The road to the camp isn't plowed, and so anyway, but hopefully this summer we will get that wrapped up. It's also the place where I have the hunting camp. I've done some men's events there, and so we're hoping to inaugurate the opening of the camp with a Wild at Heart Basic or some type of men's event. We'll see if we can pull that off. Not sure if that'll happen this year or maybe first of next summer. Some other things that happened: my son got married. My stepson Robert, he got married this year in November. Again, that helped to make a busy fall. Our prison ministry expanded here in Colorado. Our guy there in Texas, Barry, he's kind of been given leadership to that, making that happen. But it's exciting to see it happen here in Colorado. There are a lot of other things, but God's been good, and we've stayed busy. Sometimes I felt like too busy. But anyway, I again just want to thank you, and want to give a blessing to you and your family and all those that you have influence over, and this Christmas season. And so Merry Christmas, and the best, God's best for you in 2025.